If you've just been passed over for a promotion and the pay raise that goes with it, this is for you. I know you're trying to wreck your brain around how was that loser promoted over me? I know you want to F the whole thing off, the company, your boss, the loser that got your promotion, the whole effing situation. You want to slam the door in your idiot boss's face and just walk away. And there's no denying that that would be so satisfying. Employees all over the world indulge in this very fantasy every single day. But you know you shouldn't. But it's really tempting and you really want to. So I'm going to give you the four biggest no-nos of what you should not do immediately after being passed over for a promotion and the pay raise that goes with it, or I guarantee you will 100% mess up your career to a far greater degree than just this promotion you didn't get. Hi, I'm the Boss Problem Buster, founder of the Pay Raise Commando. We train passed over corporate professionals like you to get that pay raise or promotion you deserve so that you can finally kill your Monday blues and bring your inner joy back, which is the best part I like about my job and the goal of this channel. Kill your Monday blues and bring your inner joy back. That's a good goal to have. Okay, back to the salt mines. As I was saying, there are four things you should not do immediately after being passed over for a promotion and the pay raise that goes with it. Number one, do not leave. Do not threaten to leave. Do not resign. Do not slam the door and walk away in one of those grandiose gestures. Why? Because you're not going to be able to pull a George Costanza bit of quitting while storming out, then coming back on Monday as if nothing has ever happened, okay? Which is actually, as an aside, something Larry David, whom the character is based on, did do. And it did work out for him, but hey, you're not Larry David, okay? And I'm not saying you should stay there forever, of course not. But quitting now will derail your career, guaranteed. And as a proof, I'm going to break down every possible realistic scenario that will unfold the moment you succumb to this burning temptation to quit right now. I'll put the whole thing down in the description, so don't worry about it. Just focus on the reasoning that I'm laying before you so that you can make your own informed decision. So why not quit? Firstly, you're upset. So you're not thinking straight. It's like texting when you're drunk, but worse. You cannot make clear, good decisions that will benefit you if you're in a state. Your reasoning faculties are deficient or completely gone. No good can come of it. So not the time for life-altering decisions like quitting. Secondly, you're not that rich that you don't need a salary. Yes, you've lost that pay raise that came with that promotion you were passed over for, and I know it's heart-wrenching, but what about your current salary? What about your current pay? Are you so willing to waver it away so carelessly? Are you insane? Do you have some other money stashed away somewhere so that you can fall back on? Come on. Thirdly, resigning when you're down, and you are down right now, will 100% sabotage your chances of landing another job, especially a good one. And this is true for both the short and the long term. How so? Well, two ways. Here's my crystal ball reading. Actually, I should do this. Never mind. You don't make a sexy candidate or applicant when you're demoralized. You're not that good of an actor. We've already established that. Remember George Costanza, Larry David? Your low spirits and your undermined confidence and self-esteem will absolutely shine through, which is not the kind of shine you want. Secondly, you won't be able to have an appealing reply to basic questions regarding your previous workplace. And you know these questions are staples at any job interview, so they will definitely come up. And for a good reason, by the way. It is absolutely understandable for a potential new employer to want to know how you did with the previous one. And thirdly, the more time you're unemployed, the more this situation will worsen because your soul will have been broken by that time. And worse yet, you will have accepted maybe a much lesser job than just to pay the bills. Need proof? Still? Let's do a thought experiment. Say you've resigned. You went into you fulfilled this fantasy. You went into your boss's office and told him or her to their face just what you thought of them and the whole effing company and that loser that got your promotion and how you're not going to take it any longer and how they don't deserve you and how you can do so much better elsewhere, and you stormed out. Okay, great. Now what? Obviously, you're looking for a job, right? You're looking for another job. So now, to continue this thought experiment, imagine yourself sitting across from an HR recruiter. How would that play? How would that go when she asks you, why did you leave? A basic question to ask, right? What was your position there? And after you answer, really? You've been there for so many years and no promotion? How so? And the all-time pièce de résistance question of any job interview ever: what will your ex-boss say about you? What indeed? So what are you going to reply? I left because they passed me over for a promotion because they thought I wasn't worthy the pay raise or the higher position in the company, and now I come here to you to take me in like you were some sort of a workforce statue of liberty. Give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, the wretched refuse. Do you want to be a wretched refuse? Do you think that HR recruiters want to hire other organizations' wretched refuse? Really? And going on with this thought experiment, just a little bit more. What about when she actually calls your boss? Well, your ex-boss by then. When she actually calls your boss to ask feedback about your performance and the terms you left on, your ex-boss will be bound to admit the truth, even if they like you and they want to help you. The truth both about having preferred somebody else over you for a promotion and about the scene you caused when you quit. Remember George Costanza? In short, do not leave immediately after being passed over for promotion and the pay raise that goes with it. The second don't is do not give an ultimatum. If I don't get a promotion and the pay raise that goes with it within 6 months, I'm out of here. Of course, you will say it in a nice way, but it will still be an ultimatum. There are two reasons why thou shalt give an ultimatum. Firstly, you have no wiggle room. Think about it. What will the ultimatum be exactly? To make an ultimatum, or rather to win one, you need to have something substantial that the other party wants and can't have otherwise. We have already established that this is not the case with you at this time. Dude, you were just passed over for promotion, meaning you were deemed by your boss or employer as not worthy, or at least less worthy than the one who got it, of being less worthy of being in a higher position, better paying position, a position that would enable you to more control over people and processes and results and budgets. Does this sound to you like having the upper hand? And just in case rhetorical questions escape you, the answer is no, a resounding no. You do not have the upper hand, so you do not get to give an ultimatum. And if you do, you will be crushed, you will be humiliated because your boss will reply, and rightfully so, with something like, okay, so quit. After which you will either have to indeed quit when you didn't really want to and you're completely unprepared for, with all that entails, as we've already covered, or you will have to grovel your way out of it, which means you will not only be humiliated, but also you will have no chance of ever getting a promotion ever in that workplace. You will be doomed to see the backs of all your juniors being promoted over you for all eternity, which is the worst case scenario. much, much worse than just being passed over this once, which was your original circumstance before you decided to play macho. The second reason why you shouldn't give an ultimatum is that the wise gives an ultimatum only when they are certain they're going to win it, or at least if the odds are in your favor and it's quite probable that the other side will back up and you will get what you want. This is the only circumstance in which an ultimatum may succeed, but even then, it is very likely to put you in a bind in the longer run, which I'll address in a moment. This, however, is not the circumstance you're in, my friend. You're in a diametrical opposite corner because of all that being passed over business. Now, suppose you do have a bit of an edge over your boss or employer, some upper hand. What would that be? It would have to be some very unique professional knowledge or acumen that is either unique in your field as a whole or specifically at your company. Why? Because that would make you harder to replace altogether or specifically in a bind, the bind being, looking at it from your company's perspective, the bind being either the fact that your resignation is a surprise to your company, as it is indeed to you, or that they have some pending tight deadlines of delivery to clients, or that the company is otherwise stressed, maybe finances, maybe others in your department have just left and they were not yet replaced, or they were replaced, but the new recruits are still acclimating, so they're not fully productive yet, or all of the above. These circumstances, and only them, would be the exception to the rule where you could indeed give an ultimatum and win it, but it would be a victory very short-lived and at a tremendously high price that will come back to bite you. So a total Pyrrhic victory. How so? Well, your ultimatum victory would bring two different additional problems on top of everything else we've already covered. Well, firstly, it won't do you any good. It won't get you anywhere because your boss can't promise you, let alone guarantee, when the next opportunity for you will come up, because your boss doesn't know when the next relevant position will become available, if at all. It could be the next day, 6 months down the line, a year, who knows? For a position to become available, somebody will have to leave or be promoted or get fired, or an altogether new position should be formed. So even if your boss would have liked to make you a promise and a pact in return to you obliging him or her with your stay, he or she cannot, for those objective reasons. These are objective reasons. It's just out of their control. Secondly, your boss will hate you to the day you die. Nobody likes being pushed over, all the more so by a subordinate. What do you think people feel when you manage to twist their arms? Is this a good basis for a working relationship, or any relationship for that matter? This is the epitome of a short-term gain that has a mid-term disaster spelled all over it. So not even a long-term. This will come back to haunt you very quickly. The third don't of what not to do immediately after being passed over for promotion and the pay raise that goes with it is don't be passive aggressive. This will be the worst you can do for yourself, or actually to yourself. This one is so common you wouldn't believe it. And it ties in directly to the first two don'ts. People who understand they should not leave, although they want to, and they understand they should not give an ultimatum, although they want to, resort to being insufferable instead. There is nothing worse than somebody pretending to be cool about something, not being promoted in this case, when their entire constitution screams the exact opposite is true. Think about it. If they passed you over for a promotion before, what is going to happen now? You will never get it because no one will be able to stand you, and for a good reason. At least be man enough or woman enough to acknowledge how you feel. Not in an overly sharing way, but just admitting you're upset. And if you really think you have a case regarding the unfairness of being passed over, and I mean a factual case, not just an emotional one because you're upset, then put your facts together and assert yourself to your boss and your colleagues. You will still be out of a promotion, but it will start your campaign for the next time. I'll expand on that in a separate video if you want. So let me know in the comments down below. So trying to pretend you're fine with it and supposedly playing nice while spewing bitterness and resentment and being an all-around bad sports will not ingratiate you to anyone. On the contrary, you will probably get sad in the next round of downsizing, and rightfully so. Is that what you want? Which is directly related to the fourth and final don't of what not to do immediately after being passed over for a promotion and the pay raise that goes with it. Don't be quick to blame it on your idiot boss or your effed up company. Maybe they are indeed exactly as you say, but as long as you choose to work there, you choose, remember, especially since you want a promotion and a pay raise, you need to figure out how to win in those very circumstances. This is the sandbox you chose to play in. So learn to play in this specific one. And for that, you need a long, hard reality check and a ton of introspection long before casting blame elsewhere. And you need the tools and best practices, which is exactly what this channel will teach you. So subscribe, like, notification bell, you know the drill. And before we go, just a short postscriptum I would be remiss not to mention. Everything I said up till now is true for both men and women. This one, however, is for the ladies only. So the fifth don't will be, ladies, for the love of God, don't cry at the office. Whatever it was that got you passed over for, crying, even if it's a little sniffle, will just prove that point and solidify it in their minds. And it will be very hard to recover from, maybe impossible, probably impossible. So don't. I can elaborate on this topic as well in a separate video if you want. So let me know in the comments below, and also let me know what other topics you'd like me to cover that have to do with busting your boss problem. Get it? Boss problem buster. Especially in regard to how to get a promotion and or a pay raise. You can find all of the points I've covered in the description below. And if you find this video helpful and you want more, subscribe and give us a thumbs up, because you know that's the way the algorithm works, or I'm doomed. So, and until next time, get back to work. I can't get you the promotion and pay raise you want if you don't actually do the job.